Hello, everyone. Welcome to English Flow Podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm William, and we are so incredibly happy you are here with us today.
Okay, let me tell you something embarrassing. When I was first learning grammar, I said to my teacher, "Teacher, I was learning English for 5 years." And she looked at me and she said, "Sarah, are you still learning?" And I said, "Yes, of course." And she said, "Then why did you use was?"
Oh no.
I had absolutely no idea what she meant. I just stood there, smiling, nodding, understanding nothing.
We have all been there, every single one of us.
And that is exactly what today's episode is about. Because I was, and I have been, they both live in the past. They both feel like they should mean the same thing, but they do not.
And the difference between them, once you understand it, is so satisfying, so clean, so logical. It is one of those moments where English suddenly makes complete sense.
I have been versus I was. Two forms of to be, two very different messages, two very different relationships with time.
One of them looks back at the past from where you are standing right now and says, "This is still part of my life."
The other one looks at the past, waves goodbye, and closes the door firmly behind it. Still connected or closed and done. That is what we are exploring today. And we are going to do it with plenty of humor, plenty of real life, and absolutely zero grammar panic.
If you are new to English Flow Podcast, welcome. Subscribe right now and join the thousands of learners who are growing their English every week with us.
Are you ready? Because I have been waiting to teach this topic for a long time.
Did you just use I have been?
I absolutely did. On purpose. Let's go.
Let's flow.
Okay, before the examples, before anything, let's just feel the difference. Because if you feel it first, everything else makes complete sense. Imagine two people. Both of them used to go to the gym. Let's call them Alex and Jamie.
Alex says, "I was a gym person. Full stop. Finished. Done." Alex clearly is not going to the gym anymore. The gym chapter of Alex's life is over. Closed. Goodbye, gym.
Goodbye, Jim. We know that feeling.
But Jamie says, "I have been going to the gym." And you immediately feel something different. Jamie is still going. Or at least, Jamie's gym journey started in the past and it is connected to right now. The door is still open.
I was, the door is closed. The story is over. That chapter of life ended.
I have been, the door is open. The story started in the past, but it is still connected to now. Still alive.
And here's a funny but very true way to feel it. I was happy. That sounds a little sad. Like, once upon a time I was happy, but not anymore. Something happened.
Yes, I was happy has the energy of a dramatic film.
I have been happy lately. That sounds much better. Because lately connects the past to right now. The happiness has been real, recently, and it is still part of my life.
I was a teacher. I no longer teach.
I have been a teacher. I still teach. Or at least my teaching experience is still part of who I am right now.
I was nervous. That nervousness is over. Done. Gone.
I have been nervous all week, and it is still happening. The nervousness is very much present in my life right now.
Closed and done. I was. Still alive and connected to now. I have been.
Now, I want to say something important. This is not just about whether something is finished or not. It is also about the relationship between the past and the present moment. About whether that past experience is still relevant right now.
And that is what we are going to explore, one word at a time. Starting with I was.
I was, simple past of to be. And the feeling of I was is completion, a closed chapter, a moment or period in the past that is no longer connected to right now.
I was tired yesterday. Yesterday is done. It is in the past. The tiredness belonged to yesterday. Today you are fine. Or maybe even more tired, but that is a different story.
Relatably more tired.
I was a student 10 years ago. 10 years ago, that period is over. You are no longer a student. That chapter of your life closed. I was.
I was confused when I first started learning English. At that earlier time, that confusion belonged to a past version of you.
Now, hopefully, less confused. I was.
I was in Paris last summer. Last summer is finished. You are not in Paris now. That trip happened. It ended. It is a closed past event. I was.
And notice something in all of those sentences. There is usually a specific time. Yesterday, 10 years ago, last summer, when I was young. Or the context makes it clear. This is a finished moment, a closed period.
I was needs a finished context, a closed moment, something that is clearly over.
And I was is used for describing states and conditions at a specific past moment. How you felt, where you were, what you were like, what you were doing at a particular point in the past.
I was so excited the night before my wedding. That specific night, that specific excitement. Finished moment. I was.
I was really unfit when I was 25. A past period, a past state. That period has ended. I was.
He was very shy when he was a child. A past phase, a past characteristic. It no longer describes him in the same way. I was.
She was the best player on the team last season. Last season is over. A past title. A closed period. I was.
And I was can also describe something that happened at a moment that is fully finished, even if it happened 5 minutes ago.
I was just on the phone with my mom. Just now. But the call ended. It is over. A closed event. I was.
I was standing right there when it happened. Right there, at that moment. The moment is gone. I was.
I was is honest about time. It says this was true then, at that specific moment, in that specific period. But that moment is finished now.
And there is nothing sad about I was, unless you want there to be. Context decides the emotion. But the grammar is simply saying, this is done. This chapter is closed.
I was. Closed. Finished. Done. A chapter read, enjoyed, and placed back on the shelf.
Now let's talk about I have been. And if I was is a closed book, I have been is a book you are still reading.
I love that so much.
I have been is the present perfect of to be, and it always connects the past to the present. The experience started somewhere in the past, and it is still alive right now, still relevant, still part of your story.
I have been tired all week. The tiredness started earlier this week, and it is still happening, right now, as we speak. Still there. I have been tired.
I have been learning English for 3 years. 3 years ago, the learning started, and it is still happening. The effort is ongoing. The journey continues. I have been learning.
I have been living in this city since 2020. Since 2020, that is when it started, and I am still living here, now, today. The living is ongoing. I have been living.
I have been feeling much better since I started exercising. The feeling better started some time ago, and it is still the current state. Connected to now, I have been feeling.
In every one of those, do you feel the bridge? The connection between where you were and where you are now? That is I have been.
And here is the key thing about I have been. Time is usually mentioned, but not a closed, finished time. It is an open time, a time that stretches from the past to the present.
For 3 years. Since Monday. Since I was a child. All week. Lately. Recently. For as long as I can remember.
For a duration, since a starting point. These two words are the very best friends of I have been. They almost always appear together.
I have been waiting for you for 20 minutes. For 20 minutes. A duration that started 20 minutes ago and continues right now. I have been waiting.
She has been working here since January. Since January, a starting point. She is still working here, has been working.
We have been friends since we were teenagers. Since we were teenagers. The friendship started then, and it is alive and real right now. Have been friends.
And I have been also carries something emotionally important. It says, this experience has been shaping me. It has had duration. It has had weight. It is not a single moment. It is a chapter that is still being written.
I have been going through a difficult time lately. The difficulty is ongoing. It started before today, and it is still present. I have been going through it.
I have been thinking about you. I started thinking at some point, and the thinking is still happening, right now. As I say these words, I have been thinking.
That sentence, I have been thinking about you, that is one of the most human, warmest uses of I have been. The thinking started somewhere in the past, and it is still alive in this moment.
I have been is the present reaching back to claim its past. The now saying, yes, I own this experience. It is mine. It is still here.
Okay, let's put them right next to each other. Same person, same topic, different tense, different meaning.
Let's go.
I was happy at that school versus I have been so happy at this school.
I was happy. That school is in the past. I no longer go there. Closed. Done.
I have been so happy. I am still at this school. The happiness is ongoing, connected to right now.
I was nervous before the presentation versus I have been nervous all morning.
I was nervous. The presentation is over. That nervousness belonged to a past moment. It ended.
I have been nervous all morning. The morning is still happening. The nervousness is present, ongoing, still alive.
I was a great cook when I was younger versus I have been cooking more recently, and I really enjoy it.
I was a great cook. Past period. Things may have changed. The great cook phase is apparently over.
I have been cooking more recently. An ongoing activity. Started in the past, connected to right now.
She was the manager of this team versus she has been the manager for 2 years now. She was the manager. She no longer is. Past role. Finished. She has been the manager for 2 years. She still is.
Ongoing.
Present.
I was confused versus I have been confused about this for weeks. I was confused at a specific past moment. That confusion is now resolved, or at least it is in the past. I have been confused for weeks, still confused, still ongoing, still very much the present reality. Relatable.
I was confused at a specific past moment. That confusion is now resolved, or at least it is in the past.
I have been confused for weeks, still confused, still ongoing, still very much the present reality. Relatable.
Now, let's talk about mistakes, because these are so common and so honestly human.
The most common mistake, and this was my mistake at the beginning of today's episode, using I was when I have been is correct. I was studying English for 5 years.
If you are still studying English, if that journey is ongoing, then I have been studying English for 5 years, because the studying is not finished. It is connected to now.
I was studying would mean I studied English for 5 years, but I stopped. That chapter is closed.
And here is a funny but very real-life example. Someone asks, how long have you been married? And you say, I was married for 3 years.
Oh dear.
That means you are no longer married. Divorced, widowed, something changed. The marriage is over. I was.
But if you meant I am still happily married, the answer is I have been married for 3 years. Still married, still very much ongoing. I have been.
One small tense change. Very different life situation.
So be careful, everyone. The tense you choose says a lot. Relatable.
The second common mistake, using I have been with a specific, finished, closed time. I have been in Paris last summer.
Last summer is a closed, finished time. The trip ended. Paris is in the past. So I was in Paris last summer. Simple past, closed event.
I have been in Paris. Yes, if there is no specific close time mentioned. If you are just sharing the experience as part of your life. I have been to Paris before. No specific time. Experience connected to now.
Last summer, I was. No specific time, just the experience. I have been. That is a very important difference.
And this one. Using I have been without for or since when the duration is clear. I have been tired. That works. But if you want to show how long, add for or since. I have been tired for days. I have been tired since Monday.
For or since, the bridges between the past starting point and the present moment. They make I have been even clearer and more natural.
Now, let's hear both forms living inside a real, funny, natural conversation. Two old friends bumping into each other after a long time apart.
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it's you. How long has it been?
I know. I was just thinking about you the other day. How are you?
Honestly, I have been so busy lately. I have been working on a new project for about 6 months now. It is taking over my entire life.
6 months? That is a long time. Was it always this intense?
It was pretty manageable at first, but I have been sleeping terribly since the deadline got moved forward. Last week was especially bad.
You need a break. I was exactly like that with my last job. I was exhausted every single day. I eventually had to leave.
You left? I did not know that. How have you been since then?
So much better, honestly. I have been freelancing for almost a year now. I was terrified at first, but I have been loving every minute of it.
That is amazing. I have been thinking about doing something similar for so long.
Do it. Life is too short. I was where you are now, and I wish I had made the change sooner.
Let's notice every form. I was just thinking. Simple past. A specific recent moment. Just now. But done. I was thinking.
I have been so busy lately. Present perfect. Ongoing. Started before now. Still true now. I have been busy.
I have been working for about 6 months. Present perfect with 4. Duration. Started 6 months ago. Still ongoing. I have been working.
Was it always this intense? Simple past question about a past state. Was a past period being asked about?
It was pretty manageable at first. Simple past. A past state. That manageable period is over. I was.
I have been sleeping terribly since the deadline. Present perfect with since. Starting point. Still happening now. I have been sleeping terribly.
Last week was especially bad. Simple past. Last week is a specific finish time. Closed. Was.
I was exactly like that. Simple past. That past version of him. That phase is over. I was.
I was exhausted every single day. Simple past. That past period. That job. Done. I was.
I have been freelancing for almost a year now. Present perfect with 4. Started a year ago. Still ongoing now. I have been freelancing.
I was terrified at first. Simple past. At first. A specific past time. That terror is in the past. I was.
I have been loving every minute. Present perfect. Ongoing. Still true now. I have been loving.
I have been thinking about doing something similar. Present perfect. The thinking started in the past and is still very much alive right now. I have been thinking.
I was where you are now. Simple past. Past state. That phase of his life is over. He has moved on. I was.
Both forms. The whole conversation. Flowing naturally. Each one doing its job perfectly. The story moves between closed past moments and ongoing present experiences. And the tenses guide us through every single turn.
Because tenses are not just grammar. They are storytelling. They are time management. They are how we show the listener this is finished or this is still happening.
And now you are in complete control of both.
Final part. And let's practice together one last time with a little fun this time.
I will give you a sentence. Choose I was or I have been. Think about the door. Is it closed or is it still open? Then William gives the answer, and we will keep it honest and a little funny.
Ready? Doors open or doors closed? Let's go.
Blank learning English since I was 12 years old.
I have been learning. Since I was 12, a starting point that continues to now. The learning is ongoing. Door wide open. I have been learning English since I was 12 years old.
Blank very tired last Tuesday. It was a long day.
I was tired. Last Tuesday, a specific finished closed day. That Tuesday is gone. The tiredness is gone. Door firmly closed. Goodbye Tuesday. I was very tired last Tuesday.
Blank feeling a bit under the weather this week.
I have been feeling. This week is not finished yet. The feeling is ongoing. The door is open. And it sounds like someone who needs rest immediately. I have been feeling a bit under the weather this week.
Blank, so nervous before my driving test, but then I passed.
I was nervous. Before my driving test. A specific past moment. The test happened, it ended. The nervousness belonged to that moment. Closed. I was so nervous, but then I passed. Beautiful.
Blank, working on my English pronunciation for months, and I can already feel the improvement.
I have been working. For months. a duration from the past to now. Still working, still improving, door open, progress happening. I have been working on my English pronunciation for months.
Blank, a very shy person when I was at school.
I was. When I was at school, a past period. School is over. That shy phase, hopefully, is over too. Door closed. I was a very shy person when I was at school. Growth happened.
Blank, thinking about you all day, and I just had to call.
I have been thinking. All day. A duration from earlier today to right now. The thinking is still alive, still warm, still present. That is one of the most beautiful uses of I have been in the English language. I have been thinking about you all day, and I just had to call. Someone call their person right now.
Someone use that sentence today, please.
Blank, in a meeting for 3 hours this afternoon.
I need coffee.
I have been in a meeting. For 3 hours, duration. This afternoon is not over. The pain is still present. I have been in a meeting for 3 hours this afternoon, and yes, coffee is necessary.
Every single person who has ever had a job just felt that sentence in their soul.
8 sentences, 8 moments. Open door or closed door, every time.
Let's close with the final summary. Short, clear, memorable, and yours forever.
I was, simple past of to be. Use it for states, feelings, and situations in a specific finished past moment or period. The moment is over. The chapter is closed. There is usually a specific time mentioned, or the context makes it clear that the thing is no longer happening. I was tired yesterday. I was a student 10 years ago. I was nervous before the exam.
I have been. Present perfect of to be. Use it for states, feelings, and ongoing situations that started in the past and are still connected to the present moment. The experience is ongoing or still relevant right now. Usually comes with for or since to show duration or starting point. I have been tired all week. I have been a teacher for 5 years. I have been thinking about this for days.
The quick check. Is the door closed? Is this finished? I was. Is the door open? Is this still connected to now? I have been.
Closed door, I was. Open door, I have been.
Say it one last time with us.
Closed door, I was. Open door, I have been.
That is your compass. Carry it everywhere.
And remember, if you have been confused about this, that is completely fine. I was confused about it once too. But look at you now. You have been learning, and it shows.
Did you notice? I was confused. Closed. Past Sarah. Gone. But I have been learning. Open. Ongoing. Present. Beautiful.
I really cannot help it at this point.
None of us can, and we love that about this podcast.
If today made you laugh and made your English better, share it with someone who needs both of those things right now. And subscribe to English Flow Podcast for a new episode every week.
We have been waiting to see you again next week. We really have.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm William.
Keep flowing.